Hey, it's Jason Creel. Wanted to go over 3 momentum killers in the lawn business. And these are things that I observe and have experienced. So let's get to it. 3 momentum killers. Things that can just take a good day that's going smooth and bring it to a screeching halt, or at least a slowdown. So start off with this. A part breaks on your mower. Something goes wrong like that. So picture this. You're out there cutting lawns, and many of you experience this, and you break a belt, you have a flat tire. Something like that goes wrong that's in the scheme of things relatively small, but is an absolute momentum killer. Couple things to say about this. One, things like belts, and in my opinion, it's wise to go ahead and have a backup belt ordered. Either keep it somewhere you can get it on your truck, wherever, because to be honest, changing a belt is not that difficult, especially if you have 2 people and give you a hand. So that's something that if it happens and you're prepared, that you can get that changed pretty quick and get back going. Flat tire, again, you can keep a tire plugging kit on your truck, but if maybe you have a sure enough flat tire, you may have to go get a new tire. But these are things that can be extremely frustrating. Sometimes it's something so small as your mower won't crank, and you find out it's a fuse, it costs 25 cents or something. So it's just aggravating, but that can be a huge momentum killer. 2, this one may sound a little strange, but I've seen it, and it is, for me, this is one that I deal with, and that's lunch. Okay, lunch can actually be a huge momentum killer. Sometimes if I'm working close to home, I'll stop by my house and eat lunch, and which is great. I want to see my family and that sort of thing, but sometimes you get home and you start doing stuff at home, or my kids want to visit with me for a while, so I'm playing with them or whatever is going on. But sometimes making that turn at lunch, which could have been a grab something quick and go, turns into an hour time killer. Of course, you've got employees working with you, that can be really a negative thing. You got to figure out how to not let lunch be a time killer. So I think you got to plan accordingly. The other way it can be a time killer is you decide you're going to go take in the all-you-can-eat buffet, and then you just don't feel like doing anything the rest of the day. It slows you down, or you just feel you don't feel great, or you go eat at the Mexican restaurant and you eat 2 bags of chips and salsa. So these are things that can be momentum killers. And lastly is a bad employee, and this, I would classify that as a permanent momentum killer until you get rid of them. It's every day. Of course, if they show up late, that's a momentum killer. They're not pulling their weight. It drags the morale of the whole crew down. They're playing on their cell phone instead of working. You can just tell they don't care about their job. A bad employee is a permanent momentum killer and needs to be eliminated if possible. Because it can just, like I said, it drags the whole morale of the team. Now, if you have a good employee who's having to pull the slack for the bad employee, that's not going to go well, especially if they're getting paid the same amount of money for not doing equal work, and somebody shows up late. So these are things, as you develop a company policy to help shape your company and what's expected of the employees, to be able to go over that with them, to know that being late is not acceptable, and what's expected on a day-to-day basis. So these are 3 momentum killers that I have seen in the lawn business. Feel free to add to the list. Thanks.